Hey, what's going on, family? This is Andy Henriquez, and I want to welcome you to the Thursday night show for your life motivational live stream. Of course, I want to thank you so much. And let me tell you, I got a message for you tonight. This message tonight, this is for the ones of you who are dreamers, the big visionaries, those of you that have been sitting on something on your heart. I mean, you got a big dream. This message tonight is for those of you that have a dream, a desire, a goal, something that's been sitting on your heart. And boy, do I have something to share with you tonight. And so I just thank you so much for tuning in and for joining me tonight. We're going to be getting started just momentarily. And so if you would just give me a moment while I go ahead and get the other live stream going. As you know, we're on Facebook Live, we're on YouTube, and we got a conference call all going at the exact same time. And so I want to thank all of you for joining me, of course. And so we're about to fire it up right now on Facebook as well. I think for those of you who are watching us on YouTube, before we go ahead and get started with the other folks. Hey family, what's going on? This is Andy Henriquez, and listen, I got a message for you tonight. This message tonight is for those of you that are the dreamers. I'm talking about the visionaries. I'm talking about those of you that have something big that's sitting on your heart. I mean, the kind of dream that is so big that when you share with other people, they literally think that you're crazy. If you're a dreamer, if you're a visionary, if you got something that's sitting on your heart, this is for you. Listen, if you don't have any dreams, you don't have any aspirations, then you don't even need to watch this. But I'm talking to those of you specifically tonight that have a dream, you have a vision, something that you've been wanting, something that you've been desiring in your heart, and you are not going to throw in the towel until this thing becomes a reality for you. And so my message tonight is called Deferred, but not denied, because I need all of us to remember that sometimes your dreams may be deferred. Sometimes you may not necessarily get that thing that you want on your timeline. But if you don't throw in the towel, sometimes deferred does not mean denied. And so I got a message for you tonight. For those of you who are tuned in and joined in, do me a favor real quick in the comment section, put in your city and your state so I can give you a little quick shout out before we go ahead and get started. And of course, for those of you who are joining us right now, do me a favor and share this message. Hit the share button. This message, once again tonight, is specifically for those of you who are the dreamers, the visionaries, those of you that have had something that's sitting on your heart and you've been wanting to make something to become a reality. And maybe perhaps the dream is so big that when you share with other people, they literally look at you and think that you're crazy. And maybe perhaps the dream even scares you. If you are one of those dreamers, one of those people that has something that's sitting on your heart, this message is for you. And so do me a little quick favor. Go ahead and make sure that you hit the share button. And as you're jumping on right now, do me a favor and go ahead and put in your city and your state so I can go ahead and give you a real quick shout out before we get started on tonight's message. And Donald Diamond, what's going on, my man? In the UK, that's what I'm talking about. So UK is in the house. Good to see you, Donald. Appreciate you tuning in all the way across the pond, as they say in the UK. For those of you, as you're tuning in right now, do me a favor, just put in your city and your state or your country. If you're in another country, we got Darren in Baltimore, Maryland. Thank you so much for tuning in. And remember, for those of you who are tuned in right now, go ahead and hit the share button because I got a message tonight. Listen carefully. This message tonight is specifically for those of you who have big dreams. I mean, you got big aspirations. There's some things that you desire in your life that literally, if you share those dreams, if you share those aspirations with other people, they might think you're crazy. As a matter of fact, sometimes you even think that you are crazy because of how big your dream is and how big your vision is. And what I believe is that for the most part, most of us, we will realize our goals and our dreams if we're willing to stay in there, if we don't throw in the towel, if we don't quit prematurely. And I believe that too many of us quit prematurely. Too many of us throw in the towel because our dreams are deferred. And what I want to remind you is this, that a dream deferred is not a dream defied. Once again, a dream deferred is not a dream denied. And so don't allow anybody to talk you out of your goals and your dreams. Don't allow anybody to convince you that your dream is not going to become a reality. And so I just want to make sure that I shared that with you because I believe that there's somebody right now that if you're willing to just stay in the game, if you don't throw in the towel, whatever stay in the game means, it might mean for another year, it might mean for another month, it might mean for another 5 years, it might even mean for another decade. If you're willing to stay in the game, believe me on this, eventually your dream will in fact become a reality. And so, of course, I want to welcome all of you to the Thursday night Show Up for Your Life Motivational live stream. This is where you come each and every week in order to get that midweek pick-me-up. And so I thank you for tuning in. Listen, you want to grab a pen and a piece of paper real quick, because I'm going to share some things with you that I just want you to make sure that you hold down, that you're staying engaged, because I believe that this is going to create a shift for you. Those of you that have a big dream, big aspirations. And so we're going to begin started literally just momentarily. So do me a favor, for those of you who are tuned in right now, put in your city and your state so I can go ahead and give you a shout out. And if you haven't already done so, make sure you go ahead and you hit the share button, because I know that there's somebody that you're connected to, that needs to hear this message. There's somebody that you know that has a dream. They think about throwing the towel. They have been pursuing this dream now for a while, and they are starting to think that it's not going to happen. And I'm telling you, I came across a story today that literally gave me goosebumps, that touched my life, and I believe that it is going to touch your life. And so once again, as I was sharing with you, once again, I want to remind you, this message right now that I'm about to dive into is specifically for those of you who are dreamers, those of you who've got big visions. There's something that's been sitting on your heart. You got a dream that's so big, something that's sitting on your heart that's so big that when you share it with other people, they think that you're crazy. Sometimes they chuckle. They think that you're absolutely insane. And even yourself, when you think about this dream, this vision that you have, sometimes it scares you because you don't even know how it's going to happen. But I want to remind you something that one of my mentors told me a long time ago. How is none of your business. And my goal and my plan tonight is to get you to realize this, that if you've been working on a dream, you've been putting in the time, you've been putting in the effort, and you haven't realized the dream yet. In other words, your dream has been deferred. You thought it was going to happen within your timeline. You thought it was going to happen in a year, in 2 years, in 3 years. And now you're 5 years in, you're 10 years in, and it still hasn't happened. And you're saying, Andy, I don't know if I can do this anymore. You're saying, Andy, I'm thinking about throwing in the towel. I'm saying to you, wait. Don't throw in the towel yet, because I need you to understand this, that a dream deferred is not a dream denied. And the reason why I want to share that with you is I saw a story today that literally touched my heart, and I want to share this with you because this story I know is on the verge of literally going viral. But the story is about a man by the name of Andre Ingram. And Andre Ingram was a college basketball player that had a big dream like me and you, but he had a big dream. His dream was to become an NBA basketball player. And so he was a really, really great college basketball player. And then when he actually graduated from college back in 2007, he was thinking that when he was graduated from college that he was going to get drafted in the NBA. And unfortunately, he did not get drafted in the NBA. And so when most people would have just thrown in the towel on their dreams, when most people would have just decided to go ahead and give up, literally, this is what Andre decided to do. He decided to join the NBA Development League. And for those of you who don't know what that is, the NBA Development League, it's like the minor leagues. It's also known as the G League. And it's a league that people go into who have dreams and aspirations of developing themselves up to the level where eventually they will, in fact, be able to make it to the NBA. But here's what I want you to understand. There's a lot of people who played college ball that have a desire to make it to the NBA, and less than 1% of them ever make it to the NBA. So Andre Ingram's chances were very slim. But like you and me, he had a dream. I don't know what your dream is. Maybe your dream is to have an amazing 7-figure business. Maybe your dream is to have an amazing family. Maybe your dream is to travel all around the world. Maybe your dream is to become a best-selling author. Maybe your dream is to use your gift, your skills, and your talents to make an impact. Maybe your dream is to become a world-renowned motivational speaker. I don't know what your dream is, but I'm telling you that Andre Ingram had a dream, and his dream was to become an NBA basketball player. And unfortunately, he wasn't drafted when he graduated from college. And so he decided to enter what are known as the minor leagues or the G League. And basically, this is the league where you just try to develop your skills. And so after the first year of being in this minor league, he still didn't get drafted in the NBA. After the second year of being in this minor league, he still wasn't drafted in the NBA. After the third year of being in this minor league, he still wasn't drafted in the NBA. After the fourth year of being in this minor league, he still wasn't drafted in the NBA. And maybe perhaps some of you can relate to that. There's something that you've been working on. I mean, there's a dream that you've been working on, and you've been working on it now for years. And you say, Andy, I don't know. I'm getting frustrated because it's just not happening for me. It's just not becoming a reality. And I'm telling you, Andre, during his journey, was getting frustrated, but he decided to hold on to his vision. He decided to hold on to his dream. And so after year one, he still didn't make it to the NBA. Year two, he still didn't make it to the NBA. Year three, he still didn't make it to the NBA. Year four, he still didn't make it to the NBA. Year five, he still didn't make it to the NBA. But let me put things in the context for you. He's in this minor leagues trying to make it to the NBA. And while he's playing in these minor leagues, I need you to understand there were times that he was making less than $19,000 for the entire year. I'm going to repeat that one more time. He was making less than $19,000 for the entire year. This man was married, and he also has a daughter that he needed to support. And so here he is. He's playing in the minor leagues, making less than $19,000 on an annual basis, hoping to one day be able to make it into the NBA. And in order to make some additional income for his family, he is working as a tutor in the evening. He's tutoring people in mathematics. And so you want to talk about somebody who's just holding on to the dream, that's holding on to the vision, that's doing absolutely anything that they can to try to fulfill the dream. And year after year, it's still not happening. And maybe perhaps you could relate to that. Maybe you've been working on something. Maybe you've been trying to write a book. Maybe you've been trying to get your business to the 6-figure mark, to the 7-figure mark. Maybe you've been trying to enter a fulfilling relationship. Maybe you've been married and you've been trying to get married again. Maybe you've been trying to have a child and you've been trying year after year to have a child and it's not happening for you. Maybe perhaps for you, you've been trying to figure out what your purpose and your calling is, and you keep digging and searching and things aren't working out. Listen, Andre was in one of those scenarios where he was chasing the dream of becoming an NBA basketball player, and it wasn't happening. Year after year, frustration after frustration, not making the income that he desired. And I just want to share this with you because I need you to understand all through the process what I loved about what Andre did, and I want you to realize this, is that he was willing to hold the vision. And what I want you to understand is this: in spite of the circumstances, in spite of the frustration, in spite of whatever's going on right now in your life, I want you to understand this. You have to hold the vision. You got to hold on the vision. You got to continue to believe that this thing is going to happen for you. Do me a favor for you, for those of you who are on right now, do me a favor in the comment section, put hashtag hold the vision, because I need you to get this, that an important part of you realizing the dream when things aren't working out, an important part of you realizing the dream when the circumstances aren't quite adding up the way that you'd like them to. An important part to you accomplishing this thing that you want to make happen, even after years of putting in the time and effort and energy, and things aren't quite happening the way that you want them to, you have to be willing, in spite of all the challenges, in spite of everything on, you have to be willing to hold the vision. And what I loved about what Andre Ingram did is he was willing to hold on to the vision. And what I'm saying to you right now is, I don't know what your vision is, but what I know is that the only way that you're going to accomplish this goal, this dream that you have, the only way that this thing is going to become a reality for you is you've got to be willing to hold the vision, even when it doesn't look like it's going to happen for you, even when you're thinking about throwing in the towel, even when you find yourself being frustrated, even when you got a big dream, but your paycheck and your bank account doesn't reflect it, even when other people around you are telling you must be crazy, even when you're starting to believe it yourself, you starting to tell yourself you must be crazy. You got to be willing to hold the vision at all times. You got to hold the vision, and hold the vision. So I want you to realize this. Andre Ingram graduates from college with a dream and a desire to become an NBA basketball player, doesn't get drafted. He goes into the minor leagues. He spends year one in the minor league, still isn't drafted. Year two, still doesn't happen. Year three, year four, year five, year six, year seven, year eight, year 9, and year 10, something amazing happens in year 10. After 10 years of holding the vision, 10 years of pursuing this dream, 10 years of hoping that this thing was going to happen for him, he's in the minor leagues, and he literally gets a phone call. And who does he get a phone call from? He gets a phone call from the Los Angeles Lakers, and they say, hey, Andre, we want to go ahead and sign you to go ahead and help us to close out the season. We only got 2 more games in the rest of this season, but we want to give you an opportunity after 10 years of working hard in the minor leagues, after 10 years of holding the vision, after 10 years of going after your dream, We want to give you an opportunity to finally be able to realize your dream and to be able to play in the NBA. And so here it is. I want you to realize Andre Ingram, who spent 10 years in the minor leagues, 10 years holding on to the vision, 10 years trying to make this thing a reality, 10 years of never giving up, 10 years of people around him saying, man, you must be crazy, man. Just give up this dream. You're not going to become an NBA basketball player. You're in the minor leagues, man. You're making $19,000 a year. Only less than 1% of athletes making it to the NBA, man. Just give up. People around him would say, man, give up. He said, no, I'm going to hold on to the vision. People around him said, man, this is a long shot. It's never going to happen for you. He said, I'm going to hold on to the vision. He's 5 years in. They're telling him, man, you must be stupid, man. Get a job. Go do something. He just kept holding on to the vision. And after 10 years, he realized his dream. If you were to go ahead and pull them up on the internet after this, you'll be able to see the video. Andre Ingram finally got called by the Los Angeles Lakers, and he literally gets in his very first basketball game on an NBA basketball team, and literally in his first game, he scores 19 points on his very first game. He scores 19 points. And what I want you to realize is this. I don't know where you are right now in your goals. I don't know where you are right now in your dream. What I want you to realize this, and I want you to write this down. Just because your dream has been deferred, I'm telling you right now, it has not been denied. I'm going to say that one more time. Listen, just because your dream has been deferred, it does not mean that it has been denied. I want you to do me a favor right now in the comment section. Put hashtag deferred, hashtag deferred. If you haven't realized your dream right now, if it hasn't come a reality for you, I don't want you thinking it's been denied. And your dream hasn't been denied. Your dream has simply been deferred. Your dream has been deferred. In other words, it's just not happening on what your timeline is. It's just not happening when you thought it was going to happen, but it will happen. But you got to be willing to stay in the game. You can't throw in the towel. It is going to happen for you. That book that you want to write, it's going to happen. That business that you want to make happen, it is going to happen. Those 6 figures that you want to accomplish, it's going to happen. The 7 figures, it can happen for you. Listen, getting married, it can happen for you. Having a baby, it can happen for you. All these things that have been sitting on your heart, this big dream that you've had that didn't necessarily happen on your timeline. I'm telling you right now, if you can stay in the game like Andre Ingram did, if you won't allow your inner conversation and those around you to talk you out of your dream, if you be willing to just simply hold on to the dream, if you could just really understand the mere fact that just because your dream has been deferred, it has not been denied. Remember this, a dream deferred has not been denied. Those are 2 different things. So many people right now believe that their dreams have been denied. They have given up. They stopped showing up. They stopped doing the things that are required of them. They stopped preparing. And so what I love about Andre Ingram's story is that over those 10 years when he was in the minor league, over those 10 years, what he was doing was he was preparing for the opportunity that he had not yet had. I want you to understand this. Whatever it is that you're preparing for, whatever it is that you're dreaming for, whatever it is that you're envisioning in your life, I need you to understand this, that you got to prepare for it right now before it happens. You want to become that best-selling author, you need to prepare for it right now. You want to become that extraordinary speaker and coach, you got to prepare for it right now. You want to become a fantastic wife, a fantastic husband, you better prepare right now. You want to become debt-free, you better prepare for it right now. Listen to me. If you want to start using your gifts, your skills, and your talents to be able to touch people's lives, you better start preparing right now. In other words, you got to prepare for the opportunity that you have not yet had. I'm going to say that one more time. I hope that you are getting this. Listen to me. Andre Ingram was preparing for the opportunity that he had not yet had. When you go and you see what happened with Andre Ingram in the very first NBA game that he was in, he scored 19 points. But the reason why he scored 19 points is because he had been preparing in the minor leagues. He had been preparing for that opportunity to be in the NBA. And what I need you to understand is that there is a dream. There's an opportunity that is waiting on you, but you got to be willing to prepare for it right now. You got to prepare right now for those opportunities. You got to prepare for the opportunity that you have not yet had. Do me a favor right now and in the comment section, put hashtag prepare. If you understand what I'm saying, you got to put hashtag prepare. You see, listen to me carefully. And you've heard this before. Whitney Young Jr. said this. He said, it's better to be prepared for an opportunity and not have one than to have an opportunity and not be prepared. I'm going to say that one more time. He said, it's better to be prepared for an opportunity and not have one than to have an opportunity and not be prepared. Listen, I'm telling you right now, the beautiful thing about Andre Ingram, it took him 10 years to make it into the NBA. It took him 10 years to realize his goals and his dreams. But over those 10 years, you better believe he was preparing for that moment and that opportunity. And because of the fact that he was preparing, when that opportunity showed up, you better believe he showed out, as they say. The opportunity showed up, and as many of them would say, he showed out. Are you listening to me? He showed out. His first game in the NBA, he scored 19 points. Why? Because he was willing to prepare. He was willing to put in the work. And here's what I want to help you to understand right now. You got a big dream. You got a vision. You got something that you want. But what I want you to understand is it's not enough to just have the dream. It's not enough to just have the vision. You got to be willing to start putting in the work. You've heard it before, that faith without works is dead. It's one thing for you to have the faith that the dream is going to become a reality. It's one thing for you to have the faith that this thing is going to happen for you, but you got to put works to your faith. You got to put feet to your faith. In other words, you got to begin to start putting in the work right now, because you've heard this before and I shared it with you. It's better to be prepared for an opportunity and not have one than to have an opportunity and not be prepared. Right. And so we've heard that before. But what I need you to understand, you got to put it in the context of your dreams. You got to put it in the context of your goals. Now, here's what I know. There's somebody that you know right now. They got a dream. They got a vision, something that they're working on. And they've been thinking about throwing in the towel. And I need you to make sure that you share this message. Do me a favor right now. Share this message, because they need to understand that a dream deferred is not a dream denied. I'm going to say that one more time. A dream deferred is not a dream denied. And what I want you to realize is that oftentimes we have a dream. We got a big dream. But what happens is we have it in our mind what the timeline is going to be for the dream. And so we say, well, you know what? By this time next year, I hope that this is going to happen. In the next 3 months, I'm expecting this is going to happen. And then what happens is we're into next year and we still haven't realized our dream. And then the next year comes. And now we're 3 years in, 5 years in, and we're still chasing the dream. And it still hasn't become a reality. And now people around us are starting to say, well, why are you still trying to make this thing happen? It's not going to work. And then they don't even need to tell us. Now the conversation in our mind begins to pick up. And now we start trying to talk ourselves out of it. Maybe it wasn't meant to be. Maybe it's not going to happen. Maybe I don't have the skill. Maybe I don't have the resources. Maybe I don't have the connection. Maybe I don't have what it takes. But what I want you to understand is that you do have what it takes. You do have the skills. You do have the talent. What I need you to understand is that your dreams don't always happen on your timeline. And so a dream deferred is not necessarily a dream denied. And so what you have to be willing to do is you simply have to be willing to believe. And so I was having a conversation with my mother-in-law. And what she shared with me is this. My mother-in-law, when she was 25 years old, she was in Jamaica. And while she was in Jamaica, she was walking right by the beach. And along the beach, she saw this parcel of land that was available for sale. And because of the fact that this was literally 36 years ago, the land that was available for sale was pretty affordable. And so she took a little bit of money that she had saved up and she decided to purchase this land. This land that she purchased was in Jamaica, right by the water. Now, she said when she purchased the land, her dream and her vision, when she purchased the land, what she envisioned for herself was to have a beautiful home that she would build on that land, a beautiful home that was right by the ocean where she could look out and actually see the ocean from her home. She said, Andy, when I purchased the land, I had no idea how I was going to build the home. Andy, when I purchased the land, I had no idea where the money was going to show up at. But I just simply believed that one day that it would happen for me. And so I want you to realize this, that she had the dream, she had the vision. After purchasing the land, about 5 years later, she had somebody actually draw a sketch and do drawings of the home that she envisioned on that piece of land. And what I want you to understand is this. She purchased the land with simply one thing, just belief. Belief that one day that land would represent one day that land would be where her dream home is, overlooking the water. And what I want you to realize is this, is that after that, she had a vision. She had someone sketch what that house would look like. And here's what I want you to understand. She wouldn't build that house after 5 years. 5 years, she still didn't know where that money was coming from. 10 years of owning the land, she still didn't know where that money was coming from and still did not have the ability to be able to build that home. She's 15 years of owning that land, and she still had no idea as to how she was going to build that home or where that money was going to come from. And there are some people who told her, you should just sell that land. You're probably never going to go ahead and build that house. It's great that you had that dream. Just go ahead and let that go. That's nothing but a pipe dream. That's not going to happen. When she got to the 20th year, people really started to think she was crazy. They're like, you still have that lot? She's like, yeah, I still have it. They said, well, what are you going to do? But she said, one day I'm going to build my dream home. They're like, you going to build your dream home? It's been 20 years and you still haven't built that dream home. What makes you think you're going to build it now? But she just simply kept on believing. Listen, people will talk you out of your goals and your dreams. People will try to convince you that it's not going to happen for you. But what I want you to understand is, in spite of what they tell you, in spite of how much time goes by, you got to be willing to simply believe. You got to believe that it's possible for you. You got to believe that that book is going to happen. You got to believe that that business is going to become a reality. You got to believe that you're going to grow to that 6-7 figure business. You got to just simply believe that this thing is going to happen for you. Do me a favor. If you believe in your dream, you believe in your goal, you believe in something strongly, and that you don't care what other people believe. You don't care whether or not they believe it's going to happen for you. Do me a favor right now in the comment section, put hashtag believe. If you believe in a dream, you believe in a goal, you believe in something special in your life happening, whether you've been believing for a child, whether you've been believing for a relationship, whether you've been believing for a business, whether you've been believing for a breakthrough, whether you've been believing that something amazing is going to happen, do me a favor right now in the comment section, put hashtag believe. And what I want you to understand is, when I was speaking to my mother-in-law, she said, Andy, I had that lot and I purchased it when I was 25 years old with simply the belief that one day I was going to build my dream home there. And 5 years later, I still held on to the lot. I didn't sell it because I still believed that it was going to happen. 10 years later, I still held on to the lot. I didn't sell it because I believed that it was going to happen. 15 years later, I still held on to the lot because I believed it was going to happen. 20 years later, she said, I still held on to the lot because I believed it was going to happen. Listen carefully, folks. 30 years later, she still held on to that lot because she believed that one day that it was going to be the place of her dream home. And I'm proud to tell you right now that after 36 years, you listen to me now, after 36 years of believing, after 36 years of holding the vision, after 36 years of not selling the lot, after 36 years of envisioning this house that she always wanted, after 36 years, she has finally built the house. You see, it took her 36 years for that dream to become a reality. It took her 36 years for her to be able to get the money to be able to build that home. It took 36 years for all the things that would happen in her career and all the things that would happen for her to finally get to a place where she could build that home. And what I want you to realize is this, is that although her dream was deferred, it was not denied. And so here's what I know. I don't know how long you've been pursuing your goals and your dreams. I don't know how long you've been trying to make this thing happen. Like, I don't know how long you've had this desire for your business. I don't know how long you've had a desire to be able to accomplish your dream. I don't know how long you've had a desire to do this thing that you've been called to do. I don't know how long you've been trying to make this thing happen. I don't know the frustration that you've dealt with. I don't know the setbacks that you've had to face. I don't know how many times that you've talked yourself out of it and talked yourself back into it. But one thing I do know is that a dream deferred is not necessarily a dream denied. And just because your dream has not happened on your timeline does not mean that it's not going to become a reality for you. And so what I want you to realize is this: whatever it is, this big dream that you have that you've been holding on to, I'm telling you right now, don't let it go. Hold on to the vision. Listen carefully. I told you this. Hold on to the vision. Somebody do me a favor right now in the comment section, put hashtag vision, hashtag vision. If you've got a vision, you've got a dream, put it in the comment section, hashtag vision. I want you to hold on to the vision. They said that the man or the woman and the people without a vision shall perish. You've got to have a vision. You've got to have a big vision, a big dream, and a big goal. But it's not enough to just simply have the vision. Once you have the vision, you got to be willing to prepare for it. In other words, you got to prepare for the opportunity. You've got to prepare for the opportunity that you have not yet had. I believe that every single one of us will eventually have an opportunity that will present itself, that will allow us to realize our dream, that will allow us to realize our vision. But the major question is, will you be prepared when the opportunity presents itself? Will you be prepared to act? Will you be prepared to move forward when you finally get the opportunity to start the business, when you finally get the opportunity to get the coaching and the mentorship to take your business to the next level? Will you be prepared for that husband or that wife that you desire? Will you be prepared for that family you've been hoping and dreaming for? Will you be prepared? That's the question. So you've got to prepare for the opportunity that you have not yet had. In other words, you've got to be willing to prepare. Listen, if you're willing to put in the work and start preparing for your dream or prepare for your vision, do me a favor, in the comment section, put hashtag prepare. If you're willing to prepare. In other words, if you're willing to roll your sleeves back, you're willing to put in the work, and understanding that you've got to prepare for the opportunity that you have not yet had, and understand that a dream comes to those who work for it. A dream comes to those who prepare for it. A dream comes to those who are willing to continue to hold on and keep plowing the field and keep working on the vision, in spite of the fact that you don't see the results that you want, in spite of the fact that other people are looking at you like you're crazy, in spite of the fact that you deal with failures and setbacks, in spite of all that. Listen, the dream comes to those who are willing to continue to prepare, who are willing to continue to put in the work. If you understand what I'm saying, and you're feeling what I'm saying right now, and you fully understand that a dream deferred is not a dream denied, do me a favor and share this comment. Hit the share button, because I know that there's somebody that you're connected to that will be touched and inspired by this message. And just like Andre, who was in the minor leagues for 10 years, who many times was only getting paid $19,000 a year, who after 10 years of being in the minor league finally got a phone call and he got an opportunity to play in the NBA for the Los Angeles Lakers, and finally got to realize his dream after being in the minor league for 10 years and working as a tutor on the side to be able to support his family. But he always held on to the dream of the NBA. After 10 years, it became a reality for him. And like my mother-in-law, Lorraine, who purchased a piece of lot when she was 25 years old over by the water, envisioning one day she would have her dream home, and didn't wait 5 years, not 10 years, not 20 years, not 30 years, but 36 years. And after 36 years, she accomplished her goals and her dreams. I'm telling you that if you're willing to stay in the game, I'm telling you, if you're willing to continue to put in the work, I'm telling you, if you're willing to drown out that self-doubt, I'm telling you, if you're willing to just hold on to the vision and put in the work, your dream, even though it has been denied, it has not been deferred. And I want you to understand this. A dream deferred has not been denied. And so don't believe for a moment that your dream has been denied, because it hasn't. The only person that has the power to deny your dream is yourself. And it's the moment that you begin to stop believing. It's the moment that you began to stop pursuing your dream and putting in the work. As long as you're willing to hold the dream, as long as you're willing to pursue it, it still lives. It still lives, and it lives in you. And I believe that this dream that is in you, I believe that this dream that you're pursuing, I believe that it's going to happen for you. But I believe that you need to understand that you've got to be willing to hold the vision. You've got to continue to prepare. And most importantly, you've got to believe. You see, the thing about Andre Ingram, when he was playing in the minor leagues, he always believed that his skill as a basketball player was worthy of the NBA. You see, my mother-in-law, who purchased that lot, even though she didn't know where the money was going to come from for 36 years, she always believed that one day she would build that home and be able, from her home, to be able to look out and see the ocean. I need you to continue to believe. And if you're willing to believe, I don't care how small that belief is, but if you're willing to believe, and if you're willing to cultivate that belief, if you're willing to put in the work, it is going to happen. And you say, well, Andy, why? I'll tell you why. Because a dream deferred is not a dream denied. Listen, I'm hoping you got some value from this message. I'm pretty convinced that there's probably somebody that you're connected to that can really benefit from hearing this message. There's probably somebody that you know that is in the process right now pursuing a dream, and they're getting frustrated because things aren't necessarily happening on their timeline. And so I'm just going to ask that you share this message, because hopefully they just are able to catch just a piece of this message, and that they grab something that's going to tell them to just stay in there, stay in the game, keep pushing forward. And if you're that person who is thinking about throwing in the towel, if you're that person who's been chasing the dream, I'm hoping that you got something from this message, and that you're willing to continue to stay in the game, to stay in the ring of life, and continue to put in the work, and understand that at all times, that a dream deferred is not a dream denied. Hey, listen, folks, I want to thank you for spending this time with me. I appreciate you so much. Hey, as you sign out, do me a favor in the comment section. If you got some value from tonight's message, just go ahead and say, that was for me. That was for me, Andy. In the comment section, put that was for me. And that's just your way of letting me know that you got something from this message tonight. Something from this message resonated with you, something that you can apply with your life, something that's going to help you to continue to pursue your goals and your dreams, something that's going to help you to stay in the game. So just do me a favor in the comment section, put that was for me. And so once again, I want to thank all of you for joining me on the Thursday night Show Up for Your Life Motivational Live Stream. You can plan on joining me same time, same place, next Thursday, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. And so I appreciate you. Yes, Janelle, I see you. Janelle said that was for me. Yes, indeed, Janelle. I'm so glad you got some value from tonight's message. I know there's quite a few of you also who are also watching on YouTube. Some of you are also listening in on the conference call. Yes, Darren said that was for me. That was for me. Yes, indeed. And so I want to thank you guys. Shanae said that was for me. Shanae, happy 40th birthday. Shanae, all the way in Hawaii right now with the one and only Lewis Mourier, who is one of our hosts and family members of the Show Up for Your Life Motivational Movement, said that was for me. Nicole Henderson said that was for me. I'm believing to purchase the property on the coast. Yes, indeed. I see you, Nicole. Thank you so much. I'm so glad that was for you. Hey, Kishan said that was for me. Yes, indeed. She said that was for me. That was for me. Yes, indeed. And if this message was for you, put that was for me. And I'll tell you this too. If you haven't already done so, hit the share button, because I know that there's somebody you're connected to. They need to hear this message. There's something in this message that just even if they get a piece of it, it's going to help them to hold on to the dream, hold on to the vision. And so I just want to thank all of you for tuning in, spend this time with me. I'm so glad that you got some value from it. God bless you all. Have a good night. I'll talk to you soon. Yes, yes. Good night.